you had a vision for what you wanted your life to be like, moving forward. And I think that's great. So why real estate? So so how did you get there?
Yeah, great question. So I mentioned that I started my first business when I was 15, and that was actually a landscaping business. So I would go around and I would like mow lawns, rake leaves, I'd chop and stack wood. I'd, pretty much do anything that people wanted me to do. And one of my clients that I went to his main house to do that. And he was like, "Oh, you did a great job here. Why don't you go to some of my other properties?" And I was like, "Other properties? Like, what is this guy?" Because I came from a poor family, like I didn't know any of this. And I went to like an office park. He owned these office buildings. He owned rental properties. He's owned all these things. And I eventually figured out that this man owned like half of the town that I grew up in, this small town that I grew up in. And I was like, man, I got to do what this guy did. And he didn't really mentor me in the traditional way. I was basically just like, what's up with all this property? And he was like, oh yeah, if you want to get wealthy, real estate is the way to do it. But he never gave me any advice on how to get into real estate. But that's when I started reading like Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant and a few other books. And so by the time I was like 15, 16 years old, I knew that I wanted to get into real estate. And I'm sure we'll talk about this today, but one of the easiest ways that I think is to get into real estate is through house hacking. And basically you buy a house that you're going to live in, and then you either rent out the additional bedrooms or you buy like a duplex, like I live in right now. This is a duplex, and we rent out the other half. So, because you need a place to live, right? So you're either going to pay rent to somebody else, or you're going to live in a house that you own and have other people pay off that mortgage for you. And for me, it was like a no-brainer. Like, oh yeah, let me live for free and have my tenants pay off my mortgage.
Wow. Now, Todd, that's an amazing story. And like how you said, it wasn't that he mentored you or held your hand through it. It was just that you saw that and you were so inquisitive. You said, let me do some research on this. And it just made sense.